Good morning, Anthem, and Happy New Year. Welcome back to school. It's our first day back. It is our first day back at school in 2021. It's an exciting time because we have a whole fresh new year to begin and to just embrace and do great things with. I want to be talking about that new year as we kick off. I want to be talking about just new beginnings. And I think it's important as we look at new beginnings to also look back at the past and where God has brought us. So today, we're actually going to be singing a song that Mrs. Phillips and I recorded way back in April of 2020. That seems like forever ago, but it was about 8-9 months ago. We recorded this chapel in front of the school while we were all in lockdown. You guys were all at home doing school online. Now we're back. It's exciting. We've come a long ways. But let's worship together through this, and then we'll talk again about new beginnings after the song.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. And you have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. And you have been so, so kind to me. And oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still you yourself away, and all the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. And you have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. And you have been so, so kind to me. And all the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. And I couldn't earn it, and I don't deserve it. Still you give yourself away, and all the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Yeah. No shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. And all the overwhelming, never-ending, deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
Well, again, Happy New Year. It's 2021. I hope each of you had just a fantastic Christmas break. Hope you had a relaxing couple weeks over these last 2 weeks that we've been off of school and enjoying the holidays. I know mine has been very relaxing, very uneventful, but that's a good thing. And at the beginning of each year, we went from 2020, just a week ago, to now 2021. At the beginning of each year, I like to look back and reflect on what's in the past so that I can look forward to even better things in the future. At the beginning of the year, it's a time where many people often set goals and New Year's resolutions. And as we do that, it's good to look ahead. It's good to be excited about what's to come, but I also think it's important to look backwards and see, where has God taken me? Where has God taken you in this past year? And where might He take us in the coming future year? This Christmas break, right at the beginning, I think it was like the second or third day of break, I turned my TV on. My son and I are about to play some video games. And I look at it and say, what is wrong with our TV? The whole top half was like dark. You could still see the picture, but it was just dark. And so I get on Google and I look it up, and it turns out this is a common problem with TVs, I guess. The LED backlight goes out. And I'm a do-it-yourself fix-it guy, so naturally I said, well, I'm going to take the TV apart and I'm going to dive in and I'm going to fix this problem. Well, as I did a little research, a lot of YouTube videos, this was not going to happen. I would have had to be like an electrician and buy all these new circuit boards and stuff. So I was like, forget it. So we say it's time to buy a new TV, I guess, right? So Jack and I, we go out to Costco and we go in, we look at all the different TVs, and of course he wants the big $3,000 80-inch, super high-res TV. And I say, no, we're not buying that. But we settle on a TV, and it was a little bigger than our old TV. So we get the TV, we load it up, we put it in the car, take it home, take down our old TV, put up our new TV, and I say, Jack, what do you think? Do you like it? Is this a good TV that we got, that we picked? And he says, Dad, this is the best TV. Our old TV was horrible. That thing was just trash. And I laughed because he's just excited about this brand new TV that we have, and a new TV that it's not, the top lights aren't all blacked out, so we can actually see what we're playing or what we're watching. And it made me think about just this idea of, getting something new, and then all of a sudden thinking that the old thing was bad and it was horrible. And in a lot of ways, that is true, right? When we get something new, we realize that, oh my goodness, this new thing is so much better than the old thing. But before we had the new thing, we didn't really think that, oh, I have to have the new TV, right? Before the TV broke, our TV was just fine. We were going through every day, watching TV, playing video games, and the old TV was just fine. We didn't even think, hey, we need to upgrade. It was working just great. But when we upgraded, we realized, oh, this is bigger, this is better, and it was an exciting, fresh, new thing. I think the same thing happens for us when we start a new year, or it can happen. When we look back at the old year, we say, oh my goodness, that that wasn't as good as I had hoped it would be. And I didn't realize maybe how bad it was until I started this fresh new year and got excited about these new things and these new possibilities. So I want us to think about our new year because there's a lot to be excited about. When we look back as a school at the old year, 2020, we can probably pretty easily identify some bad things, some stuff that was wrong with that year, right? We had this pandemic, we had to shut down the school, and then even in the fall, we had to come back kind of in a hybrid, and we're still in that place, but we're in a much better place than we were back in March, back in April of 2020. We've come a long way, and we have a lot to be excited about in 2021. So, as we start this year, I want us to look at what does the Bible say about new beginnings? And then what can we do in our own lives to look forward to what God has for us this year? In the Bible, we see many examples of new beginnings. In the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, it says, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Some of the translations of this verse say God's mercies are new every morning. What an amazing thing that the God of the universe, who is perfect, looks at us, his creation, and his mercies, his compassions are new each and every day for us imperfect people who constantly fail each and every day. So God gives us a fresh start, not just every year, but every day, every morning. God's mercies, God's compassions are new. Because of his great love, we're not consumed. It's an amazing thought. In Psalm 30, verse 5, one of my favorite verses, it says, the greatest pains may linger through the night, but joy greets the soul with the dawn of morning. So we have this idea of the nighttime being this great pain, right? Sorrow endures for a night, but the dawn brings this joy to our spirits, to our souls. Now we can look at 2020, it's kind of that dark night, and 2021 is this dawn of a new time that we have to look forward to new things and new adventures in our lives as individuals, in our lives as a school body. We look at this character in the Bible. His name was Saul or Paul. Saul, before his name was changed, he was a persecutor of Christians. He would go around and throw Christians in jail, and they were even beaten. He'd oversee this, and he was just really, really getting down on Christians. And God came, and he had this experience with God. He changed his life, changed his name to Paul. It wasn't Saul anymore, now you're Paul. And he had this amazing ministry. His life was totally changed. Despite all the bad in his life, all the stuff that he did against God and against God's people, Paul was given a new beginning. And in fact, Paul became one of the main writers of the New Testament. The Bible that we read, the New Testament, Paul became one of the main writers of that. And so it's amazing to see what God can do with a fresh start, with a new beginning. We see that in countless characters within the Bible, but especially with Paul. So this is a great reminder, no matter what you've done, no matter what you've messed up yesterday, last week, last month, last year, no matter what, God can use you. God can do amazing things through you. So if you feel down on yourself, don't be discouraged, because God can use you, and you can always turn things around. His mercies are new every day. And finally, us. In the New Testament, over and over, the writers of the New Testament, especially Paul, who had that fresh start, the writers write about how we are a new creation through Christ. When we invite Christ into our lives and recognize the sacrifice that he made for us on that cross, we are a new creation. our souls are transformed, and we are just one with Christ. We have communion with Him, and we are now new. So this is just a few ideas and scriptures about a new start, a fresh start. And I want us to think about these things as we go through this week, as we start this year. Because you and I, we are new creations. You and I, no matter what is in our past, can be transformed into something amazing that God can use, just like Paul. You and I can go through a dark, dark night or a dark, dark year, but the dawn brings joy to our souls. And because of God's great love for us, we are not consumed. His compassions, His mercies never fail. They are new each and every morning. This is good news for us. Because of all this, we can just have a positive, optimistic outlook on 2021. No matter what may come, we can keep our eyes on God, and we can keep our eyes and our hearts on this idea that this fresh start is here for us, and we can take advantage of it. So how can I make the most of this new beginning that we've been given in 2021? I have a few things. Decide which habits to break. Okay, if you find yourself in this pattern of making some bad decisions, or you're not getting your homework done on time because you decide to procrastinate, or you decide to do stuff before starting your homework and then it never gets done, or whatever. It doesn't have to be about school. Maybe it's about listening to your parents, obeying your teacher, having a good attitude with your parents or your siblings. Decide which habits to break. Now's the time. We have a fresh start. Break those habits. Work on it each and every day. Decide which habits to create. This is the opposite. We're not deciding which habits to put aside. We're deciding which habits can I create in my life that will help me each and every day. Maybe it's a habit of doing your homework right when you get home from school so that you can get it done and your grades get better and your teacher's happier and your parents are happier and you're happier and everybody's happy because you've created some good work habits. Maybe it's a habit of being kind to your siblings, being kind to your classmates. Maybe it's something that you say, I can do better in that. I want to make that habit. We have to be intentional every day about building these things. And now's the time. We have this fresh start to start creating those habits. Set a goal for yourself this year. Whether it's something in a hobby that you have, or whether it's something academically. Maybe you want to improve your grades. Maybe you want to, maybe you're in kindergarten or first grade, and your goal is, I want to be able to learn how to really read well this year. By the end of this year, by the end of 2021, I want to learn how to really read well. Or maybe you can read, but you can't write or spell super well. Maybe your goal is, I want to be able to write full sentences and spell all the words right. Maybe you're in junior high and you want to be able to write better essays, right, for Mrs. Morgan. Maybe you are, I don't know. I don't know what the academic goals that each of you have are, but identify something, whether it's academically or personally, like a hobby that you have. Find something that you want to strive for and start working towards that. Finally, ask for guidance. Ask for guidance from God. God, what do you want me to do this year? How do you want me to act? How do you want me to grow and become a better person this year? Ask for guidance from others. This one is actually more difficult than asking guidance from God sometimes, because you say a prayer maybe in your heart or your mind, and you know that, but maybe nobody else does, and maybe you decide to listen to God or not listen to God. Only you know. But when you decide to ask for guidance from others, from maybe your parents or your teachers or older people that you trust, they're going to tell you what they think, where you can grow, and then it's going to be up to you to take that advice or not. But that is such great practice, to ask others for advice, because they can speak into your life and they can help you grow. All right, that was a lot. This was much longer than I originally anticipated, but I hope that you can look ahead at the year 2021. I hope that you can realize this is a fresh start for all of us. Each day that we wake, God's mercies are new. The year ahead, the possibilities are endless. And so it's up to us to decide, are we going to strive after bigger and better things? Are we going to grow as people? Are we going to get better here at school? Are we going to become better siblings? Are we going to become better children to our parents? Are we going to grow closer to God and hear His voice more? We have to think about all these things. And I'm excited. I'm excited about what 2021 holds, and I hope you are too. So be blessed. Have a great day. Have a great first week back here on campus, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.